Yeah, it said, be it all things, verse 7, be it all things, believe it, all things hope, all things endure it, all things charity never fail it. But whether there be prophecy, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. Right? So all these things going to vanish away. It says, for we know in part and prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I stood as a child, understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away the childish things, right? It says, for now we see through the glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And it says, and now abideth faith, hope, charity. These three, but greatest of these is charity. Right? So the greatest of all these things says is charity. Because he say up here, he say what? In verse 9, verse no verse or read from 9, it says, for we know in part and prophesy in part. Read from 8, it says, charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. All these and all these things shall fail. But brotherly love will always be there. Brotherly love will always be, you to have that brotherly love. This is something you had to have. Thing will always be there, but there's something that you had to have. Right? It says, whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Right? Whether there be tongue, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part and prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall we be done. I'm speaking about perfect being Yahweh Shai. Right? Then we're gonna know everything. Because when Yahweh shall return, that when the elect going to establish the kingdom, right? And that when we will become immortals, right? It says, when I was a child, I speak as a child, right? I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away the childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face, now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. Right? And now abideth faith, hope, charity. Right? These three things: faith, hope, charity. These three, but the greatest of all these three is charity. Right? And with that, I want to give all praises. And Slack. I have one more scripture here. Hebrews 13 and 1. Right? It says Hebrews 13 and 1. It says, let brotherly love continue. Love, and going to brotherly love, it says love of brothers or sisters, brotherly love. Right? It says New Testament love which Christians cherish for each other as brothers. Right? I hope this contribution was edifying. Shalom. That belongs to the apostles, of Great Millstone. Shalom to the sincere Kiamanak. What out there.